Okay, I've now cut my design, and if I put this piece of cream foam leather underneath, you can see that it's all cut out and ready to go. Now, if I wanted to just do a plain coloured fabric underneath, I would cut a piece of fabric that was big enough to go either under just the flower or the whole thing, whichever, and that would be fine. What I want to do, however, is I want to paint my hibiscus so that it's the right colours for me, the colours that I want it to be. So I'm just going to look through my pens and see what I've got. I've got various different... Okay, those are not the colours that I want. So I've got red, got orange, got yellow, obviously haven't got my pens back in the right place because they're all over the show. So I've got a whole load of sort of reds, oranges, pinks, that sort of thing. So I need to decide what sort of colours I want to do my hibiscus. Now, what I'd like to do is the centre of my hibiscus, I want it to be sort of yellow. So I'm just going to, in that centre area, just put some little marks. I'm actually only, I've positioned my piece of faux leather behind the template, and I'm just literally doing some little yellow marks sort of around where the centre of the hibiscus will be. And I'm going to put some yellow up in the top part of this stamen, because that's where the polleny bit will be. I have no idea what colour hibiscus flowers are or if they actually come in these colours, so I'm just kind of winging it a little bit. Now I'm going to add some orange, and again I'm not actually sort of drawing inside of the lines as such, but I am using the template on the template to sort of guide where I'm doing my colours. You don't have to be uber artistic to do this, but I've been asked a lot about how I colour faux leather, and this is basically how. Excuse me. So I'm now using a red. And again, I'm not going to the very edges. I'm just colouring sort of within. I'm not even fully colouring either. I'm just dotting and dabbing almost within this, within the template, making sure that I don't actually colour onto the faux leather that's the exterior colour. This may look a bit queer at the moment, but hopefully, she says with great confidence, it will all come together in the end. Now I need a brown one. Have I got a brown one? Pretty sure I have somewhere, but I'm not quite sure where. Let's just grab some greens because I'm going to need something for the leaves. There's a brown one in this pot. I don't know why I've got two pots, to be honest. There's not a brown one, but there is a bronzy coloured one. That will do. And I've got a brown one down here. Oh, look at that. So my centre stamen is going to be sort of a browny colour, and then I'm going to do exactly the same with the leaf. So I'm going to go sort of a darker shade around the outside part. Again, I'm not actually colouring, I'm not going right up to the edges, I'm just staying within what is the area inside of the template, and I'm just using a sort of a very pale cream coloured faux leather. I find that cream is better than white. White tends to look a bit harsh when you do this, whereas cream, I don't know if it just dulls the colours slightly or tones them down a little bit. Let's put a little tiny bit of sort of turquoise in the middle there to give it a bit of interest. So there we go. Now you can see, if I just lift that up, I think you can see that I've kind of coloured it in. If I lift my template off, you can see that we've got a sort of hibiscus there. And now what we're going to do is we're going to this is acetone-free nail varnish remover and a cotton bud, the like of which you would use to clear out your ears. I'm just going to use that to dissolve the ink. And what you get is a sort of a gradient from the yellow to the red, which looks much more like a real hibiscus flower. I'm just going to add a little bit more yellow into that centre part. Now, using the other end so it's nice and clean. I'm just going to pop that out of the way and grab another one, because I'm now going to do the leaf in exactly the same way. I'm drawing in from the outside into the centre. What you do need to remember is that there is a small gap between the leaf and the flower, so you don't want the colours to overlap on each other. I'm just going to take my Sharpie and put a little bit more dark green. I think I went a bit too limey. But you can add, you can't really take away, but you can add. When you put the spirit on it, the acetone-free nail varnish remover, it will blend it down, but you can't get rid of it once it's on. These are permanent markers. Once this is done, this will be permanent. gives you a more lifelike looking flower. So there we go, you can see it kind of looks like a hibiscus. If I take it away, it looks like a hibiscus, but it isn't. It's not. It's sort of blurry around the edges. So let's take our exterior. Just wait till it's dry. Make sure there's no leftover nail varnish remover, and line it up with what you've done. And you may need to go back in and add little bits where you've perhaps missed out, and I've got a couple of tiny white bits there that I just need to infill again, which I'm going to do. Actually, the problem was where I was being a bit cautious because I didn't want to go into where the leaf was. So let's just need a little bit more. Remember this stuff evaporates, so don't leave the lid off too long. Make sure when you dispose of your cotton buds that you dispose of them in a dustbin outside, because that stuff is flammable. It does, however, evaporate, but just make sure it's dry. Again, take the just see if there's any areas that you think need a little bit more. And again, I've got a couple of areas that I haven't quite covered. It's better to add and go back and add more than it is to try and do it all in one hit, because you'll find that it won't work if you try and do it all in one hit. I'm just going to add a little bit more orange to this because I think my orange has kind of disappeared a bit, and I want that slightly more peachy look that you get from hibiscus. And you can keep working on this until you've got the look that you want. I've been known to go away and come back the following day and add more, because I sometimes think, I'm not sure. So let's just... What you don't want is the red or the orange or whatever colour you use for your hibiscus to overlap into where that stem is. You want it to stay, you know, the colour that you want it. So I'm just going to add a little bit more yellow to this top part, and then just popping some little dots on. So now we just, we've got lots of laughing going on. There's a great deal of hilarity going on. There we go. I think I'm happy with that. I can probably lift that up to show you. Not sure if you can actually see it because the sun's reflecting off my screen, but that looks okay to me. So I'm happy with that. And I will come back and show you how we do the next part in a moment.